Okay, so Paul, Michael, and Dan will be your committee.
I'll get you the copies.
Thank you very much. Okay, the last item before good and welfare is that we have to schedule a date for the membership meeting to vote on our proposed amendments. The preparation of the proxies and the notice is going to take a little time. I don't anticipate that they're going to be ready for mailing to the membership before the end of next week at the earliest. We have to give the members no less than 14 days and no more than 30 days notice for the special meeting. So, Howard, what would be a reasonable notice, assuming that the, we also have to have it copied, collated, copied, and mailed. And you're a better judge of how much time that is going to take. We're going to use in-house.
The mail maybe, it would be better to use the external source for mailing.
Or for the actual mailing, yes, no question about that.
Oh, it doesn't about here.
Collate it here, and then send it from there. Oh, no, I knew that we would do that, but I meant the collating and the copying.
3 days.
So I don't have a calendar. Do you know what
Okay, so
the,
we're looking at the 27th, 17th, and you send it to that, so that'll be the first.
Beforehand?
Well, I think we're looking at the first meeting, so let's do it for the third week of June. That'll be this, but one.
okay, well, we still need a calendar to see what the date is, what day and date it is. Anybody have a,
One comment, Mayor.
sir?
The last time we sent amendments out to be voted on, actually not the last time, the time before, we neglected to include a copy of the law as it relates
It
to
will
the
not be neglected this time, I have it.
That's
I
okay.
appreciate you sending it, yes. It'll be part of the preamble.
made aware of.
Absolutely. That when any amendment relates to the owner's rental or tenant situations, only those owners who vote for the amendment are bound by it. Owners who do not vote for the amendment will be bound by whatever previous rule is in our documents. So if we say, if the majority of the membership, the proper majority of votes, that we can rent twice a year, the owner who does not vote or votes against it is bound by not renting, is bound to be held to renting once a year by the old rule. So that disclaimer will be in the packet.
Everybody understand that?
It was my understanding that only an amendment that further restricts the ability of the unit owner to rent is only applicable to those who vote for it. But if an amendment that loosens the rules, then it's not restricted to only those who vote for it.
If it restricts the rights in any way,
The statute reads if it affects the rights in any way. Michael is correct.
Okay.
We have a copy of the statute.
I have a copy in front of you.
Yeah. Okay, so we would be talking about, if we get it out, say, if the mailing goes out, say, the 1st or 2nd of June, the 2nd of June, so we do You sure there's enough time and not the 30th? The 30th would be the wiser. How many days would that be? 29? 26 days. That's perfect. So June 30th would be a good date then to set for the meeting of the membership for the vote on the amendments. So, may I have a motion?
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
Howard, the motion will be to,
What day of the week is that?
it's a Tuesday?
Do you have the wording of the motion, of the amendment? When are you going to have that? The actual wording of the amendment?
We have those.
We should see it.
The meeting's on the 5th.
I know what the law says.
Yes,
I'd
sir.
like to see what the amendment is.
You'll see what the amendment is, yes.
Okay, so I have a motion by Michael.
Motion by Michael.
Second.
Paul made the motion, Michael
What is the
seconded.
motion exactly?
The motion is to set the date for the meeting of the membership to vote on the proposed amendments for Tuesday, June 30th at 7:30 p.m. in the clubhouse.
It's not the last Tuesday of the year or the month.
It is
So it's the third Tuesday of the month.
It's the last Tuesday of the month.
Make it easier rather than restrict it to a particular Tuesday with a date. That's the way we usually do it, the last Tuesday in the month, not February 23rd.
No, this is not.
Tuesday in the month.
This is-
Is that for the annual?
No.
It's not the annual meeting, it's a special meeting of the membership.
To vote on the amendments, the changes,
Oh,
not the annual meeting.
It's not the annual meeting,
Okay,
it's a
okay.
special meeting. It has nothing to do with the annual meeting, we're not changing that.
What is the date again? February?
June 30th.
30th.
June 30th.
Yeah, February's gone. June 30th,
Any objections?
unanimous. All right, so the meeting is open for good and welfare. And we have Mr. Gerald Miro.
Good evening. At the risk of beating a dead horse, last regular meeting, I brought up the subject of, since we're looking for money in every corner, and now we're cutting back our expenditures, I felt that we had a large amount of money tied up in properties or units that were fixed with association money after the Wilma hurricane and the subsequent problem with Pegasus. After my little pitch for that, Mr. Fredericks came up front and he explained his side of the story. And he explained that basically the money, and he seemed to admit there was more money than I thought was involved. I thought it was 250. He stated 280,000, and he was on the board and he was involved with all that. So I deferred to his better knowledge. So there's $280,000 that was taken from association funds to fix up people's unit owners' properties. His thought was that the settlement with Pegasus included those funds, the $280,000. And I just as a follow-up, I mentioned to the board that they should keep in mind that my understanding from my time on the board, the request for settlement was $4 million. We wound up with $1 million. That means, to me, even if you accept Mr. Frederick's premise that the money for that fix-up was in the settlement, we only got 25 cents on the dollar. So I would think that $280,000 money that was paid from your money, from owners' money, out of the association funds, only 25% could be allowed, and 75%, which is over $200,000, should be considered to get back from the monies that were spent. If you're looking for money, there's a big pot of gold right there that really belongs to you. Thank you.
Jerry, I think that one of the big problems, I'm with you, by the way. However, if a fact that the cost of those repairs was made a part of our claim against Pegasus. The fact that we didn't manage to collect everything we claimed does not take that out of the picture. In other words, we say that we needed $4 million to make us whole. And in order to do this, we submitted all of these claims for the repairs that we did to these apartments, whether rightly or wrongly, or whatever, we did. The claim was settled for less. You're not going to double dip. You can't come back in and say, now, just because we didn't get all the money we want, then we're not going to waive these repairs. Do you see what I'm saying?
No.
Well, look, let's put it this way. I have an accident, and I have injuries in the amount of $400,000. Okay? I put it all on the table. This is what I want to recover, and this is why. All the bills. They settle for $200,000. That's it. I'm stuck. I can't go back and say, hey, I didn't recover all of my costs. It was on the table. It was settled on that basis.
May I say something?
Understand?
How many units were involved?
I don't even know.
100 units?
How many units involved?
I'm afraid I do not know.
50 units, 100 units?
I was told, I was under the impression there were 14 units involved.
How many?
That was the number that was thrown out.
How many?
14?
That's 100 units.
It's unfortunate that most of the board, and although we protested and we tried to make this known, was excluded from a lot of information.
All right, let's take, what I'm trying to say is, of the units involved, I think there was somewhere around maybe 100 units, whatever it is. How many of them reimbursed the association through their insurance companies?
Nobody.
Oh, none of them had insurance?
Yes,
Some did.
yes, some did.
Some collected insurance
How many
and
reimbursed the association?
We don't know.
we don't know.
None.
Many.
Many. We have no clear
Nobody
records.
reimbursed.
None reimbursed. We're getting confused with the many and the none. We're answering different questions. None reimbursed,
We don't know.
is my understanding.
But I heard that there was many who did collect
But then give
and
it
had
back
their apartments fixed up also by the association.
But none reimbursed the
None
association.
reimbursed the
That's
association.
None.
Correct.
I think it certainly deserves investigation. At very minimum, the fiduciary responsibility of the board
Because you want to talk
would
double
demand.
dipping, there's double dipping right there. They got paid, their apartments got repaired by the association, and they also got paid for the repair by their insurance company. If you want to talk double dipping, there's double
Look, gentlemen, I could not agree with you more.
That's double dipping. Yeah, there's your double dipping.
It's something that should be discussed, and not just let it die. And we have, these properties could be lien. And you never know, if you ask a legitimate owner, and he received money from his insurance company and from the association, he may not have done anything only because he hasn't been asked. Okay, if he was asked, hey, Mr. Smith, we paid you $40,000 or $20,000, did you collect from your homeowner's policy? And he may say yes, but not asking is really not comprehensible to me.
I think you're right, Jerry, and it is something that we should pursue, and I will. Marvin Terrell?
I had my question answered, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Steve Serkin?
I would like the board of directors to consider removing the back door locks on the back doors at both ends of every building. The problem here is that frequently we have people rolling up floor mats and sticking them in the doorway to keep the door from closing all the way. We have people using sticks and stones and paperback books and you name it. And the problem with this is that when these doors are propped open like that, you have insects and other critters getting into the buildings. You have heat getting into the buildings and cool air going out. You have to consider that we have open access to our buildings. So these locks on the back doors do not represent any kind of deterrent to crime. And then on the opposite end of this situation, I come home loaded down with groceries. When the door is locked, and I'm struggling to get into that door with a key. These locks serve no purpose. They're a nuisance, no matter how you look at it, from the perspective of the doors being propped open so that friends can get in and out, or so people who are trying to get in the building, you know, when the doors are locked and having all these problems. Please consider removing the locks from the back doors. They serve no purpose. Thank you.
All right, excuse me. I would like to answer that, to reply to.
Go ahead, Thelma.
When they first installed the locks, we had to purchase a key to the back door. Whoever wanted to use it, I bought a key. I think they were $7 at that
They
time.
still offer that. They still offer
And
that.
so, if you want to buy a key to open your door, then buy one.
That's not what he's saying.
Yeah, he's not saying that,
That's
Thelma.
not what he's saying.
That's not what he's talking about.
No, he's talking about people jamming the doors so it doesn't close.
Well, if they wanted to open the door or use it, then they should purchase a key if they feel they want to use it.
You're misunderstanding.
That's not what he's talking about. That's not what he's talking about.
Well, that's what he's saying, that they can't use the back door.
No, he's saying that people leave the door propped open so that a guest or somebody can come in after them.
Well,
And then they don't close the door.
well, because they don't want to purchase the key out.
You don't need a
It's not
key.
matter
You
of
don't need a
purchasing
key. You tell me you don't need a key. You can walk in the front door, go to the back door, and leave it open.
You want to use the
Right.
back doors.
But you don't need a key to use the back door.
The front door's unlocked, right?
The front doors are unlocked.
Why is the back door?
There's open access to every building.
It's a good point. Steve has a good point.
The back doors are locked because going back a ways, we had a president, I won't mention his name, who came up with this idea of putting locks on all the back doors. And that's it. That's the whole story. They shouldn't be there.
Something to think about.
Exactly.
There's no light, not much light in the back.
Yes, Howard agrees too. We'll look at it. Terry?
There's really no solution to the problem.
Can't hear you.
I don't see any solution to the problem. We have the same problem in our building. The doors are propped open every night. Every day, every morning I go by and I shut the doors. They're open all night, rats and everything can get in. What can we do?
Well, if they're
Yeah,
not-
I think the front door is the same way. I come in very frequently. Somebody has propped the door open, maybe to take something out or bring something in. They never come back to close it.
That's
So
occasionally,
we're air conditioning the outdoors.
but that's only occasionally. Very seldom.
Oh, in New York, sure it happens every day.
Terry, he's suggesting that because you need a key to open the door, and when you close it, it locks, then people will prop it open. If no key is necessary, then it's not necessary to prop it open. All you have to do is open it.
But then anybody can come in anyway.
Right, well, anyone can come in the front door anyway. You know, so I think that it makes sense. It's
It
a
makes
good
sense.
Why
point.
can't you just also put an alarm on it, it stays open, the alarm goes off?
Yes. That's
Uh-huh.
a solution. Then it'll annoy everybody in the building so that we have to shut it.
That's good.
We'll get on the people that are doing it.
All
That's
these-
his
With
idea.
Terry's camera.
Just a minute, please. There's a lady would like to be heard.
Whatever is the solution, the back door is still a matter of security for us, and it shouldn't be always open to anybody.
But what we're saying is that there is no security to it.
It's not open, it's unlocked. It's not